I am about to go on my first date. I've never been on a date with a doctor, so this should be very interesting.
I'm 28 and I'm over being single. I want to share my life with somebody, and I'm almost willing to try anything to find myself a decent guy.
Hi, I'm Theo, former advice vlogger and long-term relationshipper living in Cape Town, South Africa. This is a podcast about finding love in a world that can sometimes be pretty lonely. We're on a journey to figure out what it actually takes these days to find that special somebody.
Yay!
Each episode will dive into different aspects of love and dating, and Kim will try things she's never done before as a single woman, with tell-alls to follow in the next episode.
A quick FYI, this show isn't for youngsters or sensitive listeners.
Okay, so welcome to episode 2. Kim, we're actually doing this. We've committed to a second episode. I'm super proud of us.
Yeah, I'm so proud of us, Theo.
And this one's all about first dates. We're going to be finding out more about your first date with Dr. S. And I'm going to talk to you about my first date with Andrew all those years ago. And I guess our aim here is just to share some tips from our experiences along the way. And then we're just going to head to Twitter to see what advice we can get there, because it's cheaper than professional advice. And God, I think we do need the help. So let's start off with a quick chat between you and your friend about getting back into the dating scene.
So I'm sitting here with my friend Simona, and we're having a fat chat about relationship life. Yep. And she's horrified by the fact that I haven't been on a date.
Mortified. How? What have you been doing? Like, how have you, as a pretty girl, not had another pretty guy come and ask you to, like, just maybe go for a coffee and then you had a smooch?
I've been so blindsided to any guy coming up. But actually,
wow, you must be putting out
quite
some
closed off.
Serious stay away vibes.
Maybe.
Whoa.
But where do I even start the hunting? I mean, where are the playgrounds to look at besides the bar?
I don't know, you just got to be open. So, like, when you're just doing your grocery shopping, you see a cute guy,
like would you go up to him and be like, hi, or would you like make eye
do a little
contact?
eye.
How would you open the conversation?
You make a joke.
You make a
you
joke.
have to find something funny, or like something that you can, like, relate and, like, mock or something. And then,
like, pull out a packet of Russ and put it in his trolley and pretend like it was...
okay, no, that's far too far.
A packet of rusks, Kim, honestly. Rusks.
It's like a very South African type of thing to grab off the shelf and put into someone's trolley.
Okay. So Dr. S. Got an audio journal from Kim. Why do I keep saying from Kim? You're right here. You're sitting next to me. Nutmeg, please stop rustling.
So I've just woken up. It's Saturday morning and it's before 9 a.m. And I usually like a little bit of a sleep in on a Saturday. But I've got 14 messages in my WhatsApp waiting to be read from last night's encounter. I'm just getting like warning signs like ringing in my ears. She's like, morning, I'll fetch you at 12, is that okay? Oh, and then this is the scary part. This is at 8:15 in the morning. He's like, is this the ghosting part? What does one even wear to a lunch date? Usually I don't do like eating kind of dates. Maybe I shouldn't be too in my head about this. Date clothes, just like simple jeans, a bit of a heel, and like a white cotton shirt is kind of what I'm thinking, even though it's winter, so I do need to put on a bit of a coat with that. I quite like the idea of like a nerdy, like ish doctor vibe guy. Probably because I've never been on one of those dates, and I think he could be quite fascinating. And intellectually, I think, I'm a sexual, how do you even say it? Sapiosexual. There we go.
I had to cut it there because I was actually running a bit late.
Talk to me about sapiosexual.
It's the attraction that you get or have with someone purely from an intellectual level. A guy can be good looking and he can have everything else going for him, but if he doesn't stimulate me mentally, from an intellectual point of view, it kind of falls flat.
Yeah, I think that most girls like someone who isn't completely daft. But I see that for you, it's like you get really turned on if a guy is intellectual. That's probably what it is, right?
Yeah, like read intellectual books to me in bed, and that's like a big turn on for me.
So how did the date go? Come on, tell us all.
The date was great.
What did you like about him? Give me 2 things.
So the conversation went phenomenally well.
Yeah, he got into your mind.
we had an intimate connection.
Okay, cool. That's nice.
But then, I said I was a sapiosexual.
You did tell him this?
I didn't tell him. I told you.
Oh, I thought you told him as well. Okay, never mind.
Oh no, you don't spill your beans first dates.
Okay, so things were pretty cool in that regard.
They were, and he smelled really good. He was charming. He picked me up like a true gentleman.
That's nice. Was he a good driver?
Cape Town driving is difficult. You gotta be sneaky and pushing.
Yeah.
And he drives like I drive, cheeky on the road. So he had a little bit of a cheeky side, which I kind of liked.
Okay.
And cute thing, as we were driving past one of the hospitals he worked at, he gave me like a lowdown, like as if I was a tourist in his car.
That's sweet.
So it was cute.
I think you've told me more than 2 things that you liked about him now. So that's cool. I feel like it went pretty well then.
Yes, it went well.
Anything else that stood out for you that was really nice about the date?
We have the same like for pistachio ice cream.
Was there any awkward moments?
Oh, we were sitting on the bench eating our ice creams, and in front of us along like the chain that overlooks the harbour, there were like these little love locks that were clamped onto the chain.
A
And
little bit like Paris?
yes, a little bit like Paris.
Yeah, a little piece of Paris in Cape Town.
And at some point, I don't know if he asked whether we should go get a lock engraved and put it on there, if that was a joke, or if I was misunderstanding him.
Oh my word. How did you react when he said that?
It seemed like a cute idea, but did I think this was everlasting?
How do you know? I mean, you both ordered pistachio ice cream. The next phase is obviously getting a lock. I think it was quite sweet of him, but also a little bit forward. So tell me, did you guys end up kissing?
Theo, I would love to say that I kissed him,
Oh.
but I gave him a pat on the back and a hug.
An
A
actual
good
pat?
hug.
Like how many? Like 1, 2, 3 pats? Or...
No, like the kind of pat you'd give a baby, like you're trying to birth it.
Oh my god.
Like that kind of a pat.
I
Like,
wonder if he was disappointed.
it was like a cheer up, see you soon kind of hug and pat.
This date obviously didn't go well. I mean, it wasn't what you were hoping for.
Kind of wanted that pat to be like, hey friend, nice to meet you. We'll catch up and play Xbox. And I feel like a kiss, just maybe we would have ghosted each other.
Okay. All right.
Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. So this brings me to my next question, which I feel like has already been answered. Will there be a second date? No, because you guys are just going to be playing Xbox.
We'll have a
gotten to
play
the
date.
Xbox
We'll
zone.
have play dates, but oh no, we'll have like play dates like we used to have when we were kids,
Yeah.
playing Xbox.
And how long did it take him to send you a message after he dropped you off?
Theo,
Yeah.
if I've got to be honest with you,
Of course.
it took about 15 minutes before I got that next message.
Okay, so he hadn't even got home. Or maybe he did. It can take 15 minutes to get from Greenpoint to where he lives, right?
True.
He parked his car and he sat in the car probably. He probably didn't even go up to his flat and he already messaged you.
He did say, listen, Kim, I had such a good time. I really just wanted to kiss you. And, it makes me feel sad because
You didn't feel the same way.
I didn't feel the same way, and I don't want to hurt this guy's feelings. He's a great guy. I can't create those feelings.
He just didn't get into your
Yeah,
mind,
he did.
Kim.
Yeah, he didn't find the switch.
Yeah.
The secret switch.
Yeah, but you still had a good time.
I had a great time. Really,
Yeah.
I did. It gives me hope for date number 2, which is hopefully coming up soon, but we still have to find a candidate.
Yeah, I feel like we need to come up with a plan for that. But before we do, let's talk more about first dates in general, because this is a great topic. They're usually very exciting, very awkward. There's a lot of do's and don'ts that I guess we could get into.
Speaking about first dates, take me through your first date with Andrew. Tell me the first time you laid eyes on Andrew. How did your body feel and what was your mind thinking? Do you remember those moments?
I do. He was a little bit late for the date.
Cape Town late.
Yeah. When I first saw him, I thought, oh wow, you're shorter than I expected. You might even be shorter than me, although he's really not. It was just, he wasn't, I don't know, there was something about his height that struck me. Also, it was a blind date, and so I had no idea what he was going to look like. But for some reason in my mind, I expected a blonde, and when he wasn't, I was like, oh, okay, well, that's you. I don't know, I was kind of excited for this person that I had in my head. Then, of course, Andrew came along, and I got to know him, and he was great.
Did you guys part ways quite shortly after the date? Was it a curfew on that date, or did the date linger?
We really we played it by ear. It started off with a few drinks, and then it ended up really late after a dinner and more drinks, and then going out to a club even. And then eventually he dropped me off at about 1, 2 in the morning. So there was no curfew. I was 22 and I was just willing to, I don't know, do whatever. So yeah, it was really, really fun.
I love how you said that you didn't feel like you had a curfew on the date. That's always a good sign. I'm going to watch out for guys that don't feel like I need to go home, and I can just kind of live in that moment, and hopefully that moment never ends. I think that's a really good pointer you made there.
Yeah, I think that's a good cue, because if you're thinking about, that show on Netflix that you just can't wait to get back to, I think that's like a little bit of a flag.
Totally.
You want to be really living in the moment with this person, but you kind of forget about what the time is, and you're just there with this person, and the rest of the world doesn't matter what's going on in the rest of the world, it's just you two. I think that's a really good sign, and that's definitely what happened with Andrew and I, although I feel sick straight afterwards, so...
Hold on, did you guys kiss on first dates?
We definitely kissed. He sat me down on a couch at a bar, and he was like, I think this date is going really well, can I kiss you? I was like, that's very gentlemanly. Go ahead. Then I fell sick. I don't know if he passed on some germs or what happened, but I was down for 2 weeks, which was great, because usually I'm not that hard to get if I really like a guy. But because I was so physically ill and I couldn't even really pick up my phone or be bothered, it really...
worked in your favor.
I think so. If that's what he likes, Some guys maybe don't like people who play hard to get, like maybe Dr. S. I know my mum and stepdad, for example, when they met each other, there was absolutely no mind games. It was just so intense so quickly, and it worked for them. But for others, a little bit of mind games is fun, I suppose. I feel like we're going on a hard to get tangent, which is definitely something that we can talk about, and I think it's a really interesting topic, especially nowadays with like what's expected, what's not expected. So looking back to your date with Dr. S, are there any tips you'd like to share with our 5 or so listeners?
Hey mum, I can hear you out there. So top tip, use an Uber to get to your date. It's always great because it gives you the flexibility to ninja bomb if you need to. Also, you don't need to reveal your home or residential address to either of the parties. It's a great way to arrive and to leave is in your own Uber.
He did pick you up, as you mentioned. That obviously spurred on this tip for you. You were like, actually, in retrospect, I would have maybe preferred to have gotten an Uber just because, it gives you the flexibility in case something were to go wrong. Is that what you're saying?
I think it just makes me feel safer knowing that I don't have to rely on someone to take me home.
That's a good tip. So now we're going to head to Twitter and see what dating tips there are there. We've got cinema for the first date has to be the most uncreative, shittiest idea ever. So just don't go to the cinema. According to OG.
There's no room for conversation at a cinema.
No, there really isn't, honestly. It's more for the teenagers who just want to have no conversation and just get straight to the action in a dark place.
Do you remember going to the cinema though as a young
my
girl?
first date ever was that, and God, it really freaks me out even to think about it. The amount of Rescue Remedy drops I took in the car on the way there. My dad was like, "You are going to damage your liver."
Oh shit! And his little arm would make his way through the whole movie just to get to the other side so he could pull you closer.
And then he would disappear away at the end of the date and be like, "I'm never coming back. This is so hard." Ladies, why are we still giving advice to each other to wait until he calls, texts, reaches out after a first date? Don't leave it to a guy to determine the fate of a relationship. Go after what you want. I like that one.
I like that one. That resonates with us.
That's very much us, yes. Good first date question. Who were you in your past life and how did you die?
Imagine. Run! It's a spiritualist. Run!
First date advice. Don't fart. If you fart, be honest about it. Seem ashamed. You should be ashamed, you monster. So just be wary of the farting sitch.
I actually think it's great to own your story.
Fart! And be okay with the fact that you farted.
Be okay with it. We're not unicorns.
No.
Fairies. We are human and we fart.
But I really wouldn't want to fart on the first date. I'm sorry, but
I'd rather hear it because I know it's not going to be smelly. When you don't hear it, that's the worst. Because those are silence and violence.
I don't know what I would prefer, because at least if it's silent, you can maybe hope that they think that it was someone at the other table. I don't know, but then, oh my god, I can't think of anything worse. I really can't on the first date.
So Theo, how do you keep the spark alive in your long-term relationship?
I don't know. Sometimes it just helps to be spontaneous. Like today, for example, we went to go look at a flat because we're trying to move out of this place into somewhere, into a new suburb that we find very attractive. And the place that we saw wasn't really what we were looking for. And then we decided, let's go for lunch afterwards and discuss the flat. And it was just the two of us in the restaurant. There was absolutely no one else, which was really weird. And we got to just zone in and catch up. And we don't actually go on a lot of dates anymore. You kind of stop doing that when you, well, I don't know if everyone does, but we just have. You cook for yourself at home and you've got these two dogs and you do other things instead of going out eating and indulging.
So your tip is spontaneity.
Yeah. Spontaneity.
Is that a word?
Spontaneity.
Spontaneity. Tomatoes.
Spontaneity is great. Let's create a whole new word. Spontaneity is when you have not been spontaneous in a really long time and you need to be spontaneous with your partner. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Even just having a little bit of time apart, but not planning on it. And when that does happen, for whatever reason, someone needs to go off and work or go and visit family, like Andrew visited family the other day, and it was a few days apart and he came back, and that's what keeps the spark alive, and that's not even something that you can plan for, as I said. So,
true.
That's cool. And obviously just be playful, be unexpected, surprise each other, and don't demand too much from each other the whole time. I think that helps keep the spark alive. Get a dog, because, I mean, then you'll always have endless things to talk about. Oh my god, Nutmeg, you won't believe what you did earlier, you know? It helps, it really does.
Those are great tips. Now I know how to keep my future relationship alive too.
So, Kim, tell us, what is the game plan for date number 2?
I've already kind of seeded a potential date number 2. This was post-gym. So there's this guy that comes into gym just straight after me, and we've kind of had like brief chats on on the spinning bike for warm-up and cool-down, my cool-down and his warm-up, and he took me home pre-podcast.
Okay, wait, let's go back a bit. He took you home. I mean, how is that even a thing?
I was really ill after a workout session. I think I pushed myself far too hard.
Okay, so you're flirting with a guy, you're really ill, and then he takes you home.
Yeah, I walked out of the studio, obviously, and I sat down outside of the studio, out of sight. And my trainer came up to me. He's like, Kim, you look really white. Do you need are you alright? And I was like, no, I'm not feeling too well. I don't know if I can get home. I don't know if I can walk home, which is actually across the road from me. So he was like, wait. I'm going to ask one of the guys inside if they can take you home.
Oh, someone's a matchmaker. I feel like I need to speak to this person because that's my job.
So it was honestly an act of kindness. And he took me home, which took him 2 minutes, maybe even less. I didn't follow up with him. Usually I message a guy. I'm like, hey, this is what I was supposed to do. Hey, so-and-so. Hey, Slinky.
Yeah, let's call him Slinky. Yeah.
Hey, Slinky. Thanks so much for taking me. I really appreciate it. Thanks for dropping me off. Feeling better about life these days. But I didn't do that. So when I saw him again, which is about a week on from him dropping me off, I wanted to practice one of the tips about the art of subtleties, and I wanted to practice the art of subtleties.
What are you saying sorry about? Did you just get a message?
Yeah, I did.
From who?
Oh, Pinterest.
Oh, okay. I thought
Nothing
it was maybe
interesting.
him.
Oh yeah, practicing the art of subtleties. That's what I wanted to practice. So I asked him to go for a skateboard on the promenade when he's free.
Nice. You can skateboard?
I mean, yeah, I can skateboard a little bit. Yes,
Okay.
Not downhill, but more like flat terrain, a gentle skate.
I can see you more of a rollerblader than a skateboarder, to be honest.
Funny, I actually went rollerblading about a year ago, and to get up two little stairs on the Sea Point Promenade, I had to go down onto my bum, swing my legs from my left to my right, while most of the people on the promenade were like, what is this chick doing? It felt super nerdy. And then wait, you get to like a coffee shop, and you got to take your nerdy moon boots with wheels off of your feet and walk into the shop barefoot or with your socks.
Yeah. Okay, so I can see why you decided on skateboarding.
I could do, what are the ones with four wheels on each shoe?
Rollerblading. No, roller skating. Rollerblading and skating. Yeah, there we go.
I think roller skating can be sexy, like high knee socks, little booty shorts on. That could be actually quite a game changer.
I feel like we went on a tangent about roller skates and rollerblades. I feel like we should do it. We should do it together. That's what we should do. And we should record a podcast on rollerblades or skates, whatever.
Cool. We're
Let's
going to
do
do
it.
that.
So how are you going to go on a date with this guy?
So I did seed it. He said he was going to follow up with me.
Okay,
about
so
this
the
date.
ball's in his court.
The ball's in his court. I should have said like, hey, I think we should go have a skate on Thursday, so I didn't leave it so open-ended.
I see.
That's maybe my next tip. Well, my learning for next time.
Okay.
So the date hasn't happened. It's been a week, but I know he has a music gig this weekend, so potentially that could be the hold-up. But exciting news: date 2 could actually take place in Turkey.
We're going international, baby.
We're going international, baby.
Okay, wait. Turkey?
I have planned to go on a double date with my travel partner, who's a guy friend, and we're gonna go dating in Istanbul.
I feel like this escalated because you were just talking about rollerblading or skating with someone on the promenade, and now you're talking about being in Istanbul.
It was a very spontaneous trip that my friend invited me from London onto his little getaway plan with a whole lot of other Londoners.
Yeah.
So he loves digital dating, so he's going to teach me a thing or two about digital dating, I hope.
I feel like we should probably have him on the show at some point.
John is an expert on digital dating. I'd love to have him contribute towards some of our show content at some point, yes.
Okay, so John, you and John in Turkey, is that going to happen, or is that just...
So let me just rewind to like 1 year back. I met one of John's friends who's a big property guy in London, and he was like, hey, one of my friends is coming down to Cape Town. You guys should totally meet up for a dinner. So I met up with John for a dinner, and conversation was amazing. He's a great guy. He came down for a wedding. A lot of Londoners get married in Cape Town, or ex-South Africans get married back in South Africa. And he disappeared. I saw him one night and he disappeared. And 4 months down the line, he loved Cape Town so much he wanted to move here. So Johnny didn't even need to stay in my attic, but I offered him a place in my attic with a single bed upstairs. It's like like a bit of a prisoner scenario. But I really liked this guy and I wanted him to stay over. I had 2 other girl roommates at the time. So just to make him feel like at home and to show him around the city. And we just became really good friends.
Okay, so you guys didn't ever hook up or anything?
Oh no, we have that kind of relationship where we talk about each other's dates and like the gritties.
Right.
And we're not like that.
Okay.
We just, like you and me, we're good mates.
So what are you going to do in Turkey?
So we're first starting off in Istanbul for 2 days, where we'll go dating one of the nights.
Double date?
Yeah, double date.
That's
so
a
we'll
good idea.
both go on, I think he said Hinge, so we'll both go on Hinge together and try out the scenario in Istanbul.
That's going to be cool because we don't have Hinge in South Africa.
We don't. I've tried to download it. It looks
Yeah.
like it's only available in certain territories.
Okay, so you're going to try that out. Excited to hear how that goes.
And then we're going to Quebec, which is like the hippiest place in Turkey to go for what I think is a nudist retreat. I haven't asked too many questions because I almost don't want to know. I almost want to be just surprised.
Did you just say nudist retreat?
Yeah.
So you and John are going to arrive there and just sort of strip off for each other and be like, okay, let's start this nudist retreat.
So these guys are called Heart Tribe, and they're all about like opening the heart chakra, and it's all about love and consciousness and blah, 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 blah. This is from his story to me about Tulum, and I've got no idea what's going to be happening.
You're going in
this.
blind.
All I've been told to do is make milk tart for the Londoners.
Oh,
so
of
I'm going to
course.
make milk tart for them.
I'm surprised they didn't ask you to pack a whole bunch of biltong into your luggage.
Maybe they've never had the best biltong. I'll bring them good biltong. Good tip.
So you're going there with milk tart, you're going to get naked. Are you going to try and find someone at this naked retreat?
I don't know what to expect. I'm sure there will be someone that I could potentially do another date with on the beach or in that little space.
It would be so interesting going on a first date with someone but you're naked already.
I don't know. I think you kind of remove the barriers by being naked. You don't.
Kim, I'm so fascinated.
At least you
by
know
this.
what you're getting. It's like big socks, big shoes.
You're going to have to record stuff because this just sounds so wild. My imagination can't even go there. I'm just like, are you taking time off work?
Yes, I'm gonna be gone for 3 weeks. Hopefully enough time to get at least 2 dates in with Turkish guys or Londoners. Let's see how that goes.
Let's see how that goes. I cannot wait. You're going to hear it all here on Pretty Lonely.
Super excited.
I think we'll also maybe share a few things on our social media for you guys ahead of the time.
Yes.
So do follow us. We are at Pretty Lonely _pod, and it's a community, really. It's not just for us to promote our podcast. It's more just like a conversation and a relatable platform about dating. Hopefully, that's my idea what it is.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a platform to invite people to start dating again, to look for love, and love is beautiful, and to put yourself out there.
Gosh, episode 3 is going to be insane. I cannot wait. We'll see you on the flip side.
See you on the flip side, or maybe it's the updog side.